Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe. While Raw has mostly built to the men's and women's Rumble matches just by saying, hey look, it's Charlotte Flair and AJ Styles, SmackDown has told a fascinating story around Daniel Bryan, Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro, giving some hope for another Kofi Mania-style push of the fan favourites. But that would be to miss the whole point of the road to WrestleMania. You don't want to build new main eventers or reward long-suffering fans with underdog stories. You want to bring back all the part-time mainstream stars to bring back the casual viewers. According to Sportskeeda, WrestleMania 37 will be a parade of former stars who will pass the torch to the next generation of wrestlers. Apparently, WWE has found older stars are better with fan recognition and merchandise sales, with backstage meetings discussing bringing back John Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash for the biggest show of the year. Hogan, Nash and Hall were set to be inducted into last year's postponed Hall of Fame, so they could be worked into weekly TV with this April's ceremony. Because Legends Night ain't just for January, it's for the whole of the WrestleMania season. Ringside News have corroborated part of the report, claiming Cena is 100% a lock for WrestleMania 37, with him rumoured to be signed up for the next 3 years, with WrestleMania 39 set in Hollywood, which he announced on the WWE Update 2 weeks ago. Because once, twice, thrice times in a lifetime confirmed. It's not yet known what Cena's role will be on the show, as Bruce Pritchard is reportedly running a much tighter ship. Yes, that was a Mania 37 pirate-themed metaphor in regards to leaked plans. So tight, in fact, one source told them, I don't think even Cena knows what he'll be doing. This, again, ties into what the very reliable WrestleVotes tweeted over the weekend, that once the decision was made to run another 2-night WrestleMania, the creative team started working on bigger ideas. The thought is WWE now needs 4 major matches, 2 per show. That probably requires outside assistance from big names. Cena and Goldberg nearly locks, Rock unlikely, Taker to be determined, although apparently many backstage genuinely believe the dead man is actually retired. Marks. Which makes WrestleVotes' latest report even more concerning. Sorry for the lack of details here, but still noteworthy in my opinion. Had a brief conversation earlier with a source regarding the men's Royal Rumble match. They said, quote, there's a finish that scares the death out of me, and it's legitimately getting heavy consideration. Yikes. Ever since Goldberg returned to set up a WWE Championship match with Drew McIntyre, some have speculated we may be entering the darkest timeline. Off of the ratings bump, Goldberg beats Drew for the title, just like he has in the previous Road to WrestleMania seasons with Kevin Owens and The Fiend. Meanwhile, Brock Lesnar returns and wins the Royal Rumble, setting up Lesnar versus Goldberg 3 for WrestleMania 37. Lesnar has been a free agent since last April, where he let his WWE contract expire. WWE then removed all of Brock's merchandise from their shop in August as a suspected negotiating ploy to get him to return. There's been no update on Brock's status since, but Triple H said in an interview this week that Brock Lesnar does what Brock Lesnar wants to do in regards to a Mania return. The other option is to set up a match against Roman Reigns for the affections of Paul Heyman. Fightful Select have reported Edge's Rumble return was announced in advance on Monday's Raw because there wouldn't be fans in attendance to pop for the surprise, so they're now advertising his comeback to create buzz around the pay-per-view instead. If a legend returns at the Rumble, or WWE does go with their scary bad finish, they also wouldn't have actual fans to vocally boo the ending. I said I'm sorry about that, Rey Mysterio. It sure does help when you can just press the applause button when Goldberg and Lesnar win. What do you think is going to happen this Sunday? Let me know in the comments, where I'll be replying to people from out of nowhere saying we can get through this together. Before we get on with the rest of the episode, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to this video's sponsor, Ridge. The Ridge have redefined the wallet, creating a minimalist card holder for up to 12 cards with additional room for all your money. In a compact design to easily fit in your front pocket. Because you can't wear pajamas forever, and you should really shower now too. It's been 6 weeks, me. Ridge wallets are available in 30 different colors and styles, including burnt titanium, title of your backyard tag team, and has RFID blocking technology to protect your cards from digital pickpockets. And with over 40,000 5-star reviews, a 45-day trial period, and a lifetime warranty, this could be the last wallet you ever have to buy. So replace your old wallet full of useless clutter like outdated wrestling stickers and my loyalty card for your mum, she's gone digital now, with the Ridge wallet, where if you go to our link ridge.com/WrestleTalk and use the code WrestleTalk, you'll get 10% off and free worldwide shipping and returns. Ridge first sponsored us all the way back in 2019, where they sent us a bunch of wallets to try out, and we've switched over completely since. It's a small change that makes a lot of difference. I didn't realize how big my wallet was in my pocket with my phone until I switched to this little design here. It's so beautifully minimalist. Mwah! So please support WrestleTalk and at least check out the Ridge wallets by using our link ridge.com/WrestleTalk below. And if you like what you see, use the code WrestleTalk for 10% off. Support WrestleTalk. Support your money. Since the lockdown era of WWE shows began, Vince McMahon has been backstage for pretty much every episode of Raw and SmackDown. But it had already been reported that he missed last Friday's show, and now ringside news add McMahon wasn't backstage at Monday's Raw either. Instead, Triple H, Bruce Pritchard, and Kevin Dunn were in charge of producing the shows, which, I agree, is impossible. How are the same people booking the very good SmackDown and absolutely abysmal Raw? McMahon was said to be in contact with them via Zoom, providing tweaks throughout the day. Presumably the tweaks for Raw being, just do what we've done for the last 3 months again. It's speculated the reason for Vince's absence, though, is the passing of his only sibling, his brother Rod McMahon, at the age of 77. Just 2 years older than the WWE chairman. Rod reportedly died last Wednesday, the 20th of January. Unlike the 3 generations of Jess to Vince Sr. to Vincent Kennedy, Rod was never a part of the wrestling business, instead running a metals company in Houston. He would occasionally attend Hall of Fame ceremonies in the audience and was once rumoured to be part of the Mr. McMahon death angle, where he'd be in attendance for the funeral segment on Raw, which was scrapped because of the real-life Chris Benoit double murder-suicide. Rod is survived by his wife, his 2 sons and their families, along with Vince and Vince's family, and their mother, Vicky Askew, who turned 100 last year. Monday's Royal Rumble Go Home episode of Raw, the first in months without McMahon backstage, only pulled in 1.82 million viewers, down 30,000 from the previous week. And The Undertaker can't even blame the low rating on wrestlers working too soft these days, because Nia Jax was intent on sending Dana Brooke through the center of the earth. In a disastrous opening match that already had to see it restarted when Shayna Baszler accidentally got herself counted out, Jax won the 6-woman tag for the heels by hitting an awkward powerbomb into a chokeslam move, crashing Brooke down hard on the mat. After fans feared Dana had suffered a concussion, PW Insider thankfully reported she was fine walking backstage after the match. But it's just the latest example of Nia's reckless in-ring work, genuinely injuring both Mandy Rose and Kairi Sane last year. So, in true Jax style, she's taken to Twitter to respond to fans calling her unsafe. Replying to one hoping Dana isn't hurt, rolling on the floor laughing emoji, face with tears of joy emoji, rolling on the floor laughing emoji. Glad to see I'm still living rent-free in all you weak-ass losers' heads, face throwing a kiss emoji, and then retweeting our own Wrestling Daily's Alex McCarthy, captioning the spot, Jesus, and calling out the replies with rolling on the floor laughing emoji, face with tears of joy emoji, rolling on the floor laughing emoji, a thread of whiners. Love to see it. Face throwing a kiss emoji. Speaking of Alex McCarthy, you can now watch him, Louis Dangoor, Stephanie Chase, and SP3 on the new exclusive Wrestling Daily channel. Wrestling Daily streams every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, recapping the biggest wrestling news stories of the day. It's been on Wrestle2 since we launched it in October, and it's gone so well, we're giving it its own channel. We'll be dual streaming episodes on Wrestle2 and Wrestling Daily for the rest of this week to give people a chance to do the switchover. So please support WrestleTalk and subscribe to Wrestling Daily's own channel using the links below now. And when it's all established, I can just sell it to Peacock Premium, where, surprise, surprise, WWE have angered another company. WWE announced on Monday that from the 18th of March, the WWE Network will be moving exclusively to NBCU's Peacock platform for US viewers. It's a great deal for WWE, worth a reported $1 billion over 5 years, and it's really good for subscribers too, who'll be getting the network at a soon-to-be half price $4.99. But there is one loser: ESPN. According to Wrestling Observer Radio, ESPN have made the decision to stop airing all WWE content. This puts an end to their 5-year partnership, where, in an effort to legitimize wrestling alongside other sports, ESPN started to cover WWE news and even started airing classic content last year. There were reports back in February that ESPN might buy the rights to WWE pay-per-views for their ESPN Plus platform, with rumors ESPN's parent company Disney might even buy WWE outright. But upon finding out WWE had chosen NBCU just 3 weeks ago, ESPN shut down any WWE coverage, which is actually even more noticed than WWE's own network team, who only found out about the Peacock move 1 week ago. Interestingly though, Meltzer has pointed out ESPN's new ban only applies to WWE, not wrestling in general, meaning they might still cover all elite wrestling, especially with mainstream sports stars like Shaquille O'Neal and Mike Tyson being involved with the promotion. But if they feel particularly spurned by WWE, ESPN might feel that extra motivation to push AEW. Last night's episode of Impact saw the latest appearance of AEW's Matt Hardy, Private Party, and the best tag team in professional wrestling, Two Tone, made up of Tony Khan and Tony Schiavone. Hardy and Private Party had a backstage segment about putting a bounty on both the Impact and AEW tag team titles, while Two Tone got another paid commercial where Khan called Impact his own personal fantasy league, as he's already got Private Party as the #1 contenders to the tag titles. But Impact doesn't just have AEW stars appearing on it, they also have their own wrestlers. Rich Swann versus Tommy Dreamer for the Impact World Championship was announced for their next big show, No Surrender, on Saturday, February 13th, for Dreamer's 50th birthday, meaning we'll have to wait longer for Swann versus AEW champion Kenny Omega, following Kenny pinning him at Hard to Kill. And Trey Miguel made a surprise return to the promotion after he was thought to have left last year for WWE, along with his Rascals stablemates Zachary Wentz and Desmond Xavier. But NXT only ended up signing Wentz and Xavier, who have since debuted as MSK's Nash Carter and Wes Lee, leaving Miguel to return to Impact. Is Ryback going to AEW? Find out what the controversial ex-WWE star is claiming on Wrestling Daily by clicking the video on the right, and give the new Wrestling Daily channel a subscribe. And what other big WWE return might have been leaked for the Royal Rumble? Click the video below that to find out. Subscribe to WrestleTalk for daily wrestling news. I've been Mr. Davis. Jam that jam.